Sutherland Springs, Tex. A gunman wearing all black and a ballistic vest opened fire with a rifle outside a small Baptist church in rural Texas and continued firing inside the building on Sunday, killing at least 26 people and turning a tiny town east of San Antonio into the scene of the country's most recent mass horror. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas confirmed the death toll, which has steadily increased throughout the day after the shooting at the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs. A pregnant woman and children were among the dead. The authorities said at least 20 people were also injured. Among those killed, 23 people died inside the church, 2 outside the building, and 1 person died after being transported to a hospital. The ages of the wounded and dead ranged from 5 to 72, the authorities said. 2 law enforcement sources, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the continuing investigation, identified the gunman as Devin P. Kelly, 26. Representative Henry Queller of Texas, who said he was briefed by law enforcement authorities, said the gunman came from Comal County, which is northeast of San Antonio. He went there, he walked in, started shooting people and then took off to Guadalupe County, which is northeast of Sutherland Springs, he said. The gunman was found dead in his car, the authorities said. Albert Games Jr., a Wilson County commissioner, said it was not clear whether he was killed by the police or he took his own life. Mr. Games told CNN Sutherland Springs is a small community where everyone knows one another. He said you never expect something like this. My heart is broken. Hours after the shooting, the one-story rectangular church remained sealed off, with yellow tape posted along the church grounds. Reporters poured into Sutherland Springs throughout the day as the tragedy transformed the once obscure Texas farming community into the scene of the latest mass killing. The unincorporated community has a population that numbers in the low hundreds. The 2000 census was 362, according to the Texas State Historical Association. The preliminary death toll would amount to about 7% of the population. The service at the church last Sunday, which was posted on YouTube, began with a rendition of a song called Happiness is the Lord. Then the pastor, Frank Pomeroy, told his parishioners, 20 to 30 were visible in the video, to walk around the room and shake somebody's hand. Tell them it's good to see them in God's house this morning, he said. Videos posted online show lyrics to the hymns appearing on television screens with parishioners playing electric guitars and a sign language interpreter translating the songs. Scott Holcomb and Sarah Slavens said their parents, Brian and Carla Holcomb, were among the dead. Sobbing on a curb outside Connolly Memorial Medical Center in Floresville, about 15 miles from Sutherland Springs, Scott Holcomb said, I'm dumbfounded. This is unimaginable. He added, my father was a good man and he loved to preach. He had a good heart. They knew where they were going. There's peace in that. A parishioner, Sandy Ward, said in an interview on Sunday that a daughter-in-law and 3 of her grandchildren were shot. Her grandson, who is 5, was shot 4 times and remained in surgery as of Sunday night. She said she was awaiting word on her other family members. Ms. Ward said she did not attend services on Sunday because of her troubled knees and a bad hip. I just started praying for everybody who was there when she learned of the shooting, she said. 8 shooting victims were taken to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, the hospital said. Joseph Silva, 49, who lives about 5 miles northeast of Sutherland Springs, said the police had instructed his family and neighbors to stay indoors. In a phone interview on Sunday afternoon, he described Sutherland Springs as a one blinking light town. There is a gas station and a post office, he said. That's about all there really is. Mr. Silva said he had been approached by a woman who said she had 2 loved ones at the church who were shot. There are a number of individuals just weeping and just want to know what's happened to their loved ones, he said. Everybody is pretty grief-stricken. Everyone's worried. The First Baptist Church of La Vernia, Tex, about 7 miles away, wrote on Facebook that it would open its doors from 5 to 7 p.m. Today an unthinkable tragedy occurred in our community, the church wrote. There will be pastors and leaders present to pray with you or to talk, and the altar will be open for us to fall at the feet of Jesus. President Trump, who was in Japan on a trip to several Asian countries, offered his support. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas said on Twitter, our prayers are with all who were harmed by this evil act. Our thanks to law enforcement for their response. Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, said in a statement, "The thoughts and pray